Hello and welcome to the Coffee Connections podcast. My name is Cindy Chase, and this week our special guest is Cole Porter, and she is one of Calgary's best realtors. Welcome, Cole. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you. Well, my name is Cole Porter. I've been in real estate for 10 years now. I started back in 2014, and I've just made my career through there. I initially started in Airdrie, moved my way to Calgary, and it's been quite a journey, but I love what I do.
Nice. So tell me, how did you start? How did you decide that that's something you wanted to do?
Well, you know what? When I first came to Calgary, I came here for school. So I went to UC, got a degree, did everything my family told me to.
What was the degree in? Like, what were you originally going to do?
Well, my degree was in East Asian languages, so Mandarin and Japanese.
Wow.
I used to live in Taiwan before I came here, so I was an exchange student through Rotary.
Oh.
And so I came here to continue my education. I'm from just outside Winnipeg originally, so they didn't offer the program close to Winnipeg, so we came here instead.
Wow.
Got my degree.
Your family moved here?
Just me.
Oh.
Just me by myself. And then when I got my degree, it was kind of at the turmoil. No one was hiring downtown. And it wasn't really what I wanted to do anyways. I like to be around people.
Yes.
I don't like to be in an office. And I thought, why am I doing this? Let's do something that I think would make me happy. So then my dad's best friend was a broker in Manitoba, and he was the one that suggested, like, you should probably check this out.
Mm.
And I got pregnant with Brooke, my daughter, and I thought this is probably a really good opportunity to do my real estate courses while I'm on maternity leave.
Those courses are pretty difficult, aren't they?
Yeah, some of them are. It's definitely changed since I originally took the course.
Right.
We had to be certified in rural lands, like more farm stuff, not just country residential, and also commercial. So that made things really difficult.
Right.
Whereas now you don't have to do that. You can just strictly do residential, which makes it a little bit simpler of a process.
Is that what you do now, strictly residential?
Yes, that's where my passion is. I feel like with commercial, it's a little bit more about numbers, whereas I like to see families be excited and help them through the process.
Right.
When they're buying their home or selling, it can be a really challenging time and sometimes not the best reasons why they're selling or buying. But just help them through that. I like to help people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've seen some of your posts on social media and some great success stories.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's what I like to do is I like to share the story and what happens with my clients, because sometimes it's not just an easy process, like we've said.
Yeah.
It can be really challenging, and sometimes just overcoming those challenges. It's what makes the difference, right? Using a good realtor and just using someone else. I think a lot of people tend to categorize realtors as like used car salesmen, no offense, but just that we're out for, the commission and not really about helping our clients, where that's where my passion is to help them through that.
It's like building a relationship, isn't it?
It is, and we become very close within that process.
Yeah.
And then when it's all said and done, it's kind of sad because you have to say goodbye to everyone, but you keep in touch and, see them occasionally here and there and reach out to say hi, but you get quite close with them.
Yeah. What types of products and services do you offer?
Well, I, again, just mostly do residential. I started off doing a lot of lower end homes, just to get my bearings straight. I had an amazing mentor. And now I really focus, I'm mostly in Calgary. I do surrounding areas as well, but a lot of detached homes, people that are moving up in price. Usually it's their families are expanding.
Right.
So they need something a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And then I also have a lot of I'm kind of all over the place. It just depends. It's all about my referral network, and people that refer me to their other friends or family that liked what I did for them. And
so when you see a need, you'll fill it.
Exactly. Yeah. And I find, like, as you go along, you learn new things. So, for instance, when you sell an acreage, you sell a cedar log home, it's going to be a lot different than selling a detached home that I have that's a 1,400 square foot home. Yeah. So as you kind of learn those things, you learn about the well, the sewer systems. Right. If they're on a septic field, you learn a lot of new things. But it's things that you take with you over time, right? And things become easier and easier. Yeah. And then that way you can offer it to other people that come in, right? That have something similar. But that's why I like to share those stories too. Right.
Well, and it adds to your arsenal of capabilities.
Yeah.
and what you can offer your clients.
Absolutely. And, you know, it's about setting them up for success.
Yes.
If you know what you're doing and you can plan beforehand, you have less things that fall through the cracks. Right. So if you know what a sewer system break looks like, I work for a sewer company, so I know that to replace a sewer line here is $20,000. Right. I know that the city can help you, and they might pay for half, depending if there's a clean out or not. Right. It's just all these little experiences that you have throughout the years that gives you that experience.
When you first started your business, there must have been a lot of competition in the marketplace, but what makes you stand out from your competitors?
What makes me stand out? I think it's about the details. I think what makes me stand out is realtors can be very pushy, and they're there for their clients and their clients only, which is a really good thing. But sometimes they're very quick to dismiss questions or concerns that, you know, clients might have, buyers. So say, for instance, you're buying a home and you have questions about the sewer system. Has it been replaced? Right. Whatnot. Realtors might just answer the questions without really getting the answers. Right. And it's important to make sure. Yeah, but it's important to make sure that you get the documentation or proof that it's actually been done. We had someone that just bought a legal suite here in Acadia, and the seller said, yes, it's a legal suite. Here's the sticker. But when I called the city of Calgary, it wasn't actually registered with the suite, with the suite registry. Wow. So what happens is when it's not registered, you have to re-register it every 5 years. But
so
if it's
the new owner has to re-register it?
Yes.
What if it doesn't pass?
That's the problem, is if it doesn't pass, then you've got to bring it up to today's code, not when the suite is done. So,
is there any caveats in the paperwork for if that is the case?
Not really. I mean, you can take someone to court in litigations, but it's a very long process. Yeah. It's easier to find out the answers beforehand and deal with it beforehand, other than buying something and then having to deal with it later.
Right. So that's awesome marketing material for you to, you know, let potential buyers or people that are, you know, could refer you, let them know that you are aware of these little intricacies that make a big difference.
Yes,
right?
Yes. And that's so important. That's like, if you were to come to me and say, hey, I want to buy a home in an older area, I can list off a few things like, hey, we need to look at the sewer systems. These are things that you're going to see that are a little bit different. We want to look for codes, work that's been done by a homeowner, you know, do they have the proper permits, things like that. Right. Or what happens when you buy a new home, right? What happens with a builder, you know? Things like that. What happens if there's issues later on? How do you
I have a question for you. So we're in Calgary, and there's a water issue in Calgary.
Yes.
You know, when somebody's buying a home, what area is the water issue?
The water issue is in Bowness. That's where the big main break was, but they found a few other places within that main, the big main one, where there's some issues with it, so they're going to have to replace more.
Is this something that you as a realtor, or maybe the buyer, should do research on, like the services? That's a little bit over the top, right? It's not something that you can plan ahead for, consider.
It can be. Like, so for instance, we used to use Orangeburg material for sewer systems, and it's basically cardboard and concrete put together, and it was only supposed to last for 10 years. Right. But it's been 40, 50, and now all these sewer systems are falling apart.
Right. So they didn't plan to fix it after the 10 years? Or well, we'll wait till it falls apart?
Yeah, I think they did have it in the works. Like, for instance, this break that happened, they did have the sewer actually ordered, and it was already here. So a lot of that liner comes from the States. Oh, okay. So that's usually what the delays take. That's why they're so long. So they had it all here. But I think what happens is that you get backed up with other issues that are coming in residential homes, trying to update things. It's a big process, especially as Calgary gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
What words of wisdom would you share with new entrepreneurs in your field of expertise?
I think the one thing that I would share is to get a mentor. I think that's the most beneficial thing you can do for your career. I was mentored in Airdrie by one of the brokers, and it skyrocketed my career very fast. My learning curve was really fast, and you know, you make a lot more mistakes that way, but you have someone behind you that can help piece things together and make sure that you're doing the right things, you know, because especially coming into this, a lot of new realtors don't know, you know, about the sewers or issues with homes, or how do you write a term for a lawyer, for a holdback, things like that. And when you have a mentor, it just streamlines you.
How does somebody find a mentor?
Well, I started with a team. So I started with a team in Airdrie. I knew that's what I wanted, and a lot of teams do offer that. They do take a part of your commission, but it's worth it in my opinion.
You'd have to pay to go to school for that.
Yes. Well, you can, or you just try and do it by yourself. And that's where a lot of people make mistakes. And that's where lawsuits come in. And then, you want to build a really good reputation, right?
Right
that's
off
really important.
Start.
Yes. And it's important to get that experience and to get out there. I think the average realtor in Calgary sells 6 homes a year. In my first year, it's not very much.
No.
So they don't have a ton of experience. But my first year I sold 25, I think it was. Yeah,
wow, a little superstar.
Yeah, and I have to say that my mentor was the one person that helped push me, because I'd call him and I'd have questions almost every day, and he'd answer me and call me back. And
wow, he must be proud of you.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I am a lot. He doesn't live here anymore. He moved to Mexico. But
do you have a personal brand, and how do you promote it?
Yeah, I guess my personal brand is myself. Especially in real estate, I am the biggest difference, right? I mean, everyone can offer the same thing. They can offer, professional photos, drones, walkthroughs, all the bells and whistles. But when it really comes down to it, it's about dealing with other people and other realtors. So my personal brand is, making sure that my clients are happy. And if there is an issue, I think you have to look at it a different way and say, okay, how is this an opportunity for me? How can I fix this, and how can I make my clients into extremely happy clients?
Right.
And I think my brand is very different in the sense that I guess I kind of have to back up. When I first went off on my own as a real estate agent, I joined Redline Real Estate, and they were really good about sharing and, learning from the best, and also, the new things that are coming in. There's a lot of realtors that, the old process is a great way, but there's a lot of new things that you can do, and to share that and bringing that into our clients, especially as the world changes. Internet,
right.
The way people are shopping for homes, you need to be able to pivot and change with that.
What is your ideal client?
Oh, I'm kind of all over the place. I would say my favorite is when people have kids. I find I can have a bit more of a connection with them that way, and it's more exciting for the kids to see, we're getting a new home, and to kind of show them through that. And especially if they're first-time home buyers or first-time sellers, it is a really crazy process, and to be able to help them through that it's great, right? It is rewarding. It's my favorite part of it.
Wow.
Yeah, but I mean, I do help people of all ages. I think that's the one thing about me is I like to network. I have friends that are all different ages, and everyone's a little bit different on what they need.
Okay. And that's what helps you develop into a more well-rounded realtor, to be able to provide solutions.
Yes.
That maybe somebody else that, only sticks to this, I only want this type of client. Well, they will not grow as you will, right?
Yes. I mean, I have my ideal clients, but everyone has different personalities. And again, it's learning to pivot with those personalities. Yeah. Say, for instance, you might like to talk about your life and you want to share that with me. Right. Whereas the next person might be just very direct. Don't call me unless you have something important to talk to me about, right? And it's being able to judge that character and to be able to work with them and give them what they want out of the service.
Exactly. What type of emotional support did you receive at the beginning of your entrepreneurial journey? Did your friends and family support you?
Yes. You know what? My family and my friends did support me. I would say the toughest is in the first year when you're learning. I know your friends are very hesitant. They want to support you, but I think it's also very important to not have your friends use you as a realtor when you're building your business, because it becomes so much more personal. And if there are issues, it can break a relationship too, right? It's better to learn somewhere else and to be able to have that. And then when you do get into that, when you're a little bit older and you have more experience, you almost work twice as hard with your family and friends because you want to make sure that they have the best and that they're not going to regret it, and that you can keep that relationship going. But I know, like, for instance, Jay, like, he was really handy. He framed houses, and he was so supportive that every time I had a home inspection, I would say, okay, this needs to get fixed, or this needs to get fixed, and how much does it cost, and what do we have to do? How quickly can I get someone in? And learning that kind of stuff, right? How to tell when a roof needs to be replaced. Can you replace it in the winter? Having that support and be able to, talk back and forth about that stuff.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, and a lot of my friends that are realtors too, we always call each other and we say, hey, have you had a situation like this? What can I do? It's about supporting each other instead of fighting against.
So it's not like a bunch of cat fights, right?
Exactly. And there are a lot of people out there that, you know, they're very
envious
and they don't like to share what they do. But I think overall, there's so many clients here in Calgary, chances are we're not going to share anyone, right? If you do better, I do better.
Right. And just like you said, your brand is you and your personality and what you can bring to the table for each of your clients. What you bring to the table isn't what Joe Blow brings to the table. He's got something else and his clients will gravitate to him. So there's no reason to be envious.
Yes. Because some people are going to like me for a different reason, and they're going to like Joe Blow because of another, right? And that's okay. And it's important to support each other. And then, because it's a very lonely business if you are by yourself. So it's important to make friends and to have those connections.
Do you ever refer any other business owners?
Yes, I do. I refer a lot through even real estate, depending on, you know, I might have a client that is selling here in Calgary, wants to move out to Strathmore. Well, I can go out to Strathmore. I don't know the market as well as someone out there. So it's more beneficial for me to say, you know, I'm going to take a step back. Here's who you should use. I think that's putting the client first.
Volumes about you as well.
And
your reputation.
Well, and that's the thing is, you know, my reputation is important, and to be able to step back and say what would be more beneficial for the client instead of myself is important.
What types of marketing material and platforms do you use, and what works best for you?
For me, I like to use the more modern techniques. I do a lot of online marketing through Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram. So I don't use traditional marketing like bus benches, flyers, things like that. I use more of a modern technique, more online, because I find now people are looking online to look at homes, right? Especially in their beginning stages. And that's a great opportunity to be able to help coach them through and educate them about what's going on and how to buy a home, right? Instead of getting right into the middle of it and then having to backtrack because we don't know, you know, what they know and what they don't know. Things like fees of buying real estate. I think that's really important to learn beforehand because those things can come up. You know, there's a mortgage penalty. Someone selling their home, they don't realize that they have to pay an $11,000 mortgage penalty. And it can be a big surprise. It just depends. Every lender's different. But it's, you know, educating them so that they have the numbers up front and they're able to make a clear decision instead of mistakes later because it comes back on you too.
So this is something that you share with them along the journey of buying a home.
I do, yes. And I actually do a lot of mentorship too with the online marketing. I think, again, just sharing is what brings us together. And, you know, I might show Bill how to do online Google Leads, and he might get better at it than I am. And he might come back and say, cool, try this. This worked really well for me, right? And we're able to work together on that.
So you live in Calgary, you work in Calgary. Are all your clients in Calgary? Or what if somebody from Vancouver wants to buy a place in Calgary? Can they reach out to you?
Yes, absolutely. So actually, I have clients right now. They're selling in Burnaby and they're moving here to Calgary. Yeah. So I can definitely help them. I do surrounding areas too. Like I'll do Okotoks, Airdrie. I used to work in Crossfield and Carstairs a lot too when I first started my career. But again, like if it's something that I'm not comfortable with, I usually just refer that to someone that is more experienced in that area. But
but you'll pass them on. You'll make sure they find somebody. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
Don't leave them hanging.
Yes.
Again, that doesn't look good on you.
Well, it doesn't, right? And you want to make sure that you give them a good referral because then they're like, wow, Cole knew so-and-so and they were so great, right? And then if they know someone that is going to, say, purchase in Calgary later on, they might refer me, right? Because I gave them that good referral.
Is there anything you'd like to leave with the viewers?
I think the biggest thing is, you know, when you do find an agent or a realtor to help you through, it's just making sure that someone is going to be there to support you the whole way and that you're not going to feel stupid about asking questions. You know, it doesn't matter if it's going to be, well, how old is the hot water tank or things like that. I think it's, you know, you need to make sure that someone is supporting you and teaching you this. Like when you go through a house, here's how you find out how old the furnace is, how old the hot water tank is. Here's how you can tell if it's Poly B plumbing. I think it's really important and beneficial. And, you know, referrals do go a long way is making sure that if you do like your service or your agent, is that you refer them out because that's that's how they make their money and how they do their business, right? And how it grows for them.
And that's how you show your appreciation to the realtor.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Thank you very much, Cole.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, viewers. I hope you enjoyed getting to know Cole Porter a little bit. And if you're in the Calgary area or you want to move here, she's the gal that you should reach out to. She can definitely help you find a place to live for your home and your family. Thank you so much. My name is Cindy Chase, and I hope you loved this video. And please subscribe to this channel. Until next time, see you later. See ya.
See ya.